The Chicago Bulls dropped their fourth straight game, this time to the San Antonio Spurs. Wemby has a 40-point night. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this. What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host, Tre Haize. But more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into it for tonight, y'all. The Chicago Bulls lose this game 129-114. Do not let the 14-point margin of victory there make you think this game was closer than what it was. This was an absolute destruction by the San Antonio Spurs against the Chicago Bulls, and this is what a lot of people wanted to see, right? It is what it is when it came down to it. Wemby had 21 points in the first half of the game. He chipped in another 20 points in the second half of the game to finish with 41 points. The Chicago Bulls, man, Modest Buzelis only 12 points. He only had 8 points coming into the fourth quarter. Modest and Josh Giddey both had rough nights tonight. Josh Giddey did have 9 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds to go along with only 2 turnovers and a block, but it was a rough game for Josh Giddey. Modest Buzelis, again, like I said, had 12 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks, and a steal, but Modest only had 8 points going into the fourth quarter of this game, so it is what it is when it came down to it. This game was absolutely a destruction. And that's all I got to say about that one. I know there are going to be people that come in here and be like, hey, why are you acting like it's so bad? It was a 14-point loss there. It was more than that. If you watch this game, you'll understand this was more than just a 14-point loss, 15-point loss. This was an absolute destruction, man. This was rough. Best thing about this game was seeing Leonard Miller play the way that he did. No knock to Tre Jones, who actually led us in scoring with 23 points. Collin Sexton chipped in another 20 points. But Leonard Miller just continues to impress, man. If you guys watch Locked On Bulls, my co-host over there, Pat the Designer, cannot stand. Let me not say he can't stand. That's not fair. He does not believe in Leonard Miller at all, right? And I'm somewhere between that. You have your fans that look at Leonard Miller and they now say, oh, he has to be part of the rebuild. You have your people like my boy Pat who doesn't believe in it. I'm somewhere in the middle of this. I think, Leonard Miller can end up being a solid bench player for the Bulls. I think he has some legit size at 6'10". He has really good two-way ability. Shipped in 21 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists today, no turnovers, a steal, and a block. Say what you will about March basketball, now getting ready to go into April basketball, but there's something to be said when you play against these playoff teams. Keep in mind, the San Antonio Spurs are the second best team in the Western Conference, a team that's beat the OKC Thunder. They've beat the Boston Celtics. And they had their starters today, and they played their starters today. And Leonard Miller was able to put up 21 points, and that wasn't like a garbage time 21 points either. That was a legitimate 21 points. At this point, the rest of the way of the season, I don't know what Billy Donovan is left looking for. Leonard Miller should be a starter. You should be looking at Leonard Miller and Modest Buzelis just to see how well they look together the rest of the way, in my opinion. Jalen Spence out the rest of the season. That's what I'd be personally doing. But, what we want as fans sometimes to this franchise does not matter at all. But 21 points from Leonard Miller, another 20 points from Collin Sexton, who went 8 of 15 in this game with 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. Rob Dillingham was 3 of 12 for 6 points today, 0 of 5 from three-point range, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, a steal, and a block. Rob Dillingham, man, he had a little bit of stretch there where Rob Dillingham looked like he may be putting some things together, but he's fallen right back down to earth and gone right back to the exact player that, that didn't get minutes. I mean, if it wasn't for Anthony Simons being hurt, Jaden Ivey being waived, everybody being who's hurt out for the season, Rob Dillingham probably wouldn't be getting any minutes on this team is all I can say on that one, man. But overall, this isn't a game where you're going to take a whole bunch from. Wemby had 41 points. Stephen Castle had 21 points. Keldon Johnson had 15 points. Dylan Harper had 13 points. Luke Cornett had 10 points. You had 13 from Julian Champagnie. And then you had I already said the 21 points from Collin Sexton. So, Collin Sexton, Stephen Castle. So, it was a rough night, man. Rough night. This was one of those games where you're just like, I'm just glad this shit is over. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm glad this shit is over. The Bulls now have, 7 games remaining on the season. 7 games that we got to get through the rest of the way. So, it is what it is there. But, hey, we'll see what happens with that one. But overall, this was just another, the thing with the rest of the games, the remaining way of this season is, what does it matter at this point? All jokes aside, what does it matter? It's not going to change shit for the Chicago Bulls. Ain't nothing changing. The direction is the direction. They're going to be them, and the Bulls are going to try to find and forge a new team this offseason is really what it comes down to. And I guess we'll just see what they're able to do, what they're not able to do. King of Art says, Leonard Miller night, we ball. Hey, listen, Leonard Miller is one of the players like Modest and Josh Giddey. I'm just excited to see what he does the rest of the way. You got to try to find your excitement, your enjoyment, I should say, because I wouldn't necessarily call it excitement either, right? You got to find your enjoyment with this Bulls team where you can find it at. And, looking at Leonard Miller play basketball, I'm just interested to see what the kid can turn into. It's like Patrick Williams is getting worse and worse. Well, the thing is when you look at Leonard Miller play ball, this is all we've asked for Patrick Williams for years. Leonard Miller has literally come right in and given us exactly the stuff that we wanted to see from Patrick Williams. Exactly. If not, maybe even better. I don't know what to say. Maybe even better. Raya says that was unwatchable. Yeah, it was rough. Josh is losing the handle more and more often and getting his pocket pick not nearly as tight as I thought his handle was at the beginning of the season. Honestly, I'm not saying that you're wrong. There wasn't a lot of turnovers for Josh Giddey today, but, overall, it's hard to stay. And this is why I don't want the Bulls being one of those teams that tanks multiple years. It's because, losing takes a toll. And I think we're starting to see a little bit of that. Because, shout out to Josh Giddey a couple of games back when he's I noticed that we were getting disconnected as a team. I wanted us to get us back together. And that was some really good leadership. But it's just hard to stay in that mindset when your team's losing at this rate. It's really hard. You know what? I love Modest, and he has a lot of promise, but he's going to have to learn that there are much better ways to get your appointments to start the game and not by shooting. It's always Shay. You get your appointments, bro. Nick, Shay, what is wrong with you, bro? Why do you be rushing on a live stream where we got nothing but time in the world and you can't type, get your points, get your appointments? That's what you got for us right now. Get your appointments. That's crazy. I feel like Leonard Miller is the true bench power forward player we haven't had since Thaddeus Young. Could be. Bulls need a series. You can't buy out a contract with 3 years left on it because Patrick Williams has no incentive to give anything up. You'd be paying basically the whole entire contract. 3 years remaining on that contract. Nobody's going to buy that out. P. Will is bad. You can tell he has lost the little confidence that he ever had now. Didn't even attempt that last open three-pointer. Bust. Man, I don't know what was more crazy tonight. The fact that we got beat like we stole something, or Ayo getting a triple-double, and Anthony Edwards didn't have to lift the finger pretty much. But, hey, there were people that were literally in here saying that Ayo Dosunmu wouldn't play on a winning team. I'm just saying. Roberts asked, buy him out too. You can't just buy. Y'all don't understand how buyouts work, huh? What do you think is the top priority next season to work on? Rather than defense, I think our offense needs more scores. It's not enough that we have available right now. Everything. We got to work. We don't have a team going into next year. I want to be clear that we do not have a team. So we got to get a team first. Then we can worry about what we're working on because we ain't got a team right now. How did P. Will get into the NBA, bro? Listen, you got to go back and look at P. Will's rookie year. P. Will looked so it wasn't just hype. Off P. Will's rookie year, P. Will really did look like the player that you wanted to bet on. And I stand by that. He was athletic. He was aggressive. Like all these type of things. Like P. Will, it's such night and day difference. And that's what I don't understand. Was it that he was excited about getting into the NBA? Did he wake up one day and was like, damn, I actually suck? Like, I don't know. But if you look at P. Will's rookie year, there was the signs that were there of why a front office would look at P. Will and be like, hey, we may have got us one. But then it's been all downhill basically since then. All downhill since then. Sup, bro? I was completely wrong on Leonard Miller. I remember at the deadline you were vehemently against us getting him and preferred Behringer, but Miller has been a really great addition. Oh, listen, I still would rather have Juan Behringer on this team, but Leonard Miller has been damn good. Like all jokes say, he's been damn good, and he's proven me wrong. I looked at Leonard Miller, I looked at what he did, I was like, it's a nothing piece. I was fucking wrong, and I'm glad. That's why I always say I don't actively root against anybody in the Bulls uniform. I will acknowledge where they are. I will have a honest conversation about where they are, but I don't root against anybody who's in the Chicago Bulls uniform. I just don't. Like, I think that's weird when people root against their team just so they can be right about something. But I tell you what, I'm so glad that I was wrong about Leonard Miller. Because we got to see, and this is just what I say in regards to everything, especially with this part of the season. We got to see him do it next season, right? We got to see him earn a role in training camp, come back, play hard next season. But hey, there are some signs there that Leonard Miller could be really good for us, at least as a bench piece. I'm not going to gas it and say he can be a starter. Like I said, some people gas some things, but as it stands right now, Leonard Miller is a player that I would like to see us keep getting minutes off the bench for us. Rather see Yuki out there than Rob. He's actually a more positive impact on the court and can provide defensive energy at least. I mean, hey, it is what it is. Let's see if the NBA hand the Bulls a top 3 pick. Haize, hats off to you for watching this game in, game out. Think it's time to go fishing, my man. Listen, I'm about to go. Listen, after I get done with this, I'm going to post the audio. I'm going on my smoking walk. That's what I'm going to go do. It's already rolled up. It's already ready to go. I'm going to take off this Bulls gear. I'm going to put on a plain black hoodie. I'm going to go outside, enjoy the good weather. I may even take my dog Loki with me and walk him without a leash because it's late as hell, right? But I'm going on my smoking walk. It's a lot. And then I'm coming back. I'm going to sleep after that. That's what I'm about to do. I look at Leonard Miller like I looked at Javonte Green, a hustle player who can be a serviceable starter. We'll see. Giddey needs to get his appointments in order to be effective on this team. Haize, how do you feel about the tall Arizona center for the Bulls? He's projected in the second round. He's filled out well, 7'2", and give us interior D. I want to see what happens with the Bulls pick first, right? Like, there's a lot of players in the second round that I would be very interested in if I'm the Chicago Bulls, especially with how high up that second round pick is going to be. I wouldn't mind the Bulls that we have the Pels pick, right, in the second round, and we have the Denver Nuggets pick in the second round as well. I wouldn't mind seeing the Bulls try to combine that, some other second rounds to move up, be aggressive. They should have did that last year because we would have had Rocco Zikarsky, or we could have had the guy that's with the Charlotte Hornets now. His name is escaping me right now. Kalkbrenner. We could have had Ryan Kalkbrenner. That's another reason why, as a fan and players in general, don't support tanking, and what Giddey said. Like, if we're trying to suck and lose, what's the point of watching? They say development, what develop? I mean, hey, I feel you. Off topic, but do you think Illinois can beat UConn? Yeah, they're going to have to play a sound, damn near mistake-free game. They're going to have to come in, execute, pounce on them early. But we'll see. I may even be live for that one. We'll see. I'll check it out, Haize. Appreciate the feedback. No problem, Brody. No problem. As a guard, the best position to draft, especially two guard, Keaton Wagler, Braden Burries. I mean, those are the two guys that I talked about today that maybe one of those guys likely coming to the Bulls. But, again, don't forget, Arturas Karnisovas looks at the world completely differently, so that he may reach on Yaxo Lindenberg, right? If I keep it 100%, when we picked P. Will, I had no clue who he was, but I had so much faith in AK's first year that I drank the Kool-Aid. He was solid rookie year, but ever since then it's been copium. Yeah, I mean, listen, AK, the first 18 months of AK on the job all looked promising, right? Like you drafted P. Will. P. Will came in, looked really good the rookie year. You made a trade for Nikola Vucevic at the end of the season. The Bulls would have made the playoffs, but then Zach LaVine got COVID and missed the last 2 weeks of the season. You didn't turn around in an offseason where you have no cap space. You get DeMar, Alex Caruso, Lonzo Ball. The team's off to the races. Number one team in the East the first, 2 months of the season. Like that first 18 months for AK, there's no anybody who tells you they didn't have faith in the Bulls at that point in time is fucking lying to you because of where things went. That first 18 months of the under AK, you couldn't tell me shit, right? But Lonzo Ball and Zach LaVine both get hurt against the Golden State Warriors, and it's been fucking downhill since that day. Literally, since that day, you can go back to that game. It's been fucking downhill since then. And we just been dropping and dropping and dropping till now. We're in a complete roster reset. It is what it is. Everything's all good. Soon we'll have Caleb Wilson and Haize Stein back. I'm delusional. Listen, if that were to happen for the Chicago Bulls, it'll be a great draft. We got to see. We got to see. The Krivis dude from Arizona is interesting. Wouldn't be surprised. Oh, he is Lithuanian. There you go. There you go. I wanted Behringer also, but got to see more consistent play. But sample size has been really good to see. I don't actively root for guys to fail, even though I preferred a different choice. Exactly, and that's the reasonable place to be, right? Is you can go into stuff pessimistic, but you don't have to actively root for somebody's failure, right? Like some other creatives do. Haize, honestly, if you're Chicago Bulls, what would you do if we got the Portland pick in this year's draft? If we get the Portland pick in this year's draft, hold on, give me 1 second. I just want to look at the board real quick. If we were to get the Portland pick, which would end up being around 15 or 16, yeah, Haize Steinbeck is right there. Haize Steinbeck, Patrick Ngongba, the 6'11 guy out of Duke, Thomas Hall, the 6'9 guy out of Florida, like all right there. Jaden Quintenson is right there as well, but you know, with us having Noah, I don't know if we go another kind of linky forward, even though he's 255 pounds. Chris Sinak out of Houston is another guy that would be a bit of a reach. There's a lot. That's why I say, like, I know that Bulls fans, and I understand Bulls fans are like, damn, a guard, even though we don't have a lot of guards anymore after the season's over under contract. So the Bulls are probably going to draft a guard at number 9 or 10. The question then becomes about if they get that Portland pick, your future big could be right there. You're talking about Yaxel Lindenberg's there, even though he's older, I wouldn't take him. Haize Steinbeck, Thomas Hall, Patrick Ngongba, Chris Sinak, Jaden Quintenson. Like, those guys are all right there in that area. It could be the perfect draft, but we're probably not going to get that Portland pick. Did Portland play today? Hold on, I haven't even checked. No, they didn't play today. It looked like they played today. Sexton securing that contract he's hooping and cares about. Listen, and people shit on Collin Sexton and stuff, but like Collin Sexton's the type of player I would love the Bulls to actually keep because, like you said, he does care. He's shown some leadership. He's passionate. You know, you need it, especially after a guy that you know, you need that scoring punch off the bench. Every team needs that. So we'll see. Bro, the game was against Golden State was cursed. We didn't even know Zoe was hurt. He just didn't show up the next game, and eventually we heard it was serious. Oh, no, we knew it was hurt, right? Because didn't he go off the court limping, or am I confused with that with Zach? I can't remember, right? I'm not going to act like I remember the exact, but I know they both went down against Golden State. And then Caruso went down, what was like 2 games later? Or was it 2 games before that? I know it was a couple of games span that Caruso went down too. Behringer and Leonard Miller package for Iowa would have been amazing, but oh well, it did. Oh, if we would have gotten Leonard, see, that's the type of thing that could have turned a trade into a win. Now that's assuming that Behringer also, like, if you would have gotten Behringer and Leonard Miller show what he's shown us, and we got Behringer instead of Rob Dillingham, man. Adamara or Daymara, I think I say Adam because my brain just doesn't think a day as an actual name, but yeah. Who do we get first, Debo or AC or Zoe? I think we got Zoe was first because remember we got tampering because we got Zoe within like the first 3 minutes of free agency opening. We signed Zoe, so Zoe was first, and then I believe AC because Debo was a last minute acquisition, right? Like not last minute, but like towards the end of free agency is when we got Debo. I believe if I'm the timing in my head is right, but I know for a fact Zoe was the first guy that we signed that offseason. Let's hope Portland beats up Golden State in either Phoenix or LA. Oh, that Portland versus Golden State game is going to be hugely important for the standings there, right? They're ahead of Golden State right now, but they're ahead of them by 2.5 games, right? So, and they're beneath the Clippers by 1.5 games. So, we got to see what they're going to do. Vooch was traded for first. He wasn't a free agent acquisition. Remember, Von? They're saying, who do we sign first? We traded for Vooch the season before that offseason. See, that's why I say, listen, Von is really my little brother. That nigga be trying to correct somebody so quick and don't listen to the context at all. Io had a triple-double tonight. Yeah, we know. We talked about it. The 2021 free agency offseason for the Bulls was so fun. Man, and that was my first year doing the show. I remember I broke the Lonzo news. That was my first video to pop off, which makes sense, right? I think I was only maybe 5 or 6 videos deep into the channel at that point. But when that Lonzo news broke, I was on it like, no, because no, I probably was more than 5 or 6 videos deep. I was probably like 10 videos deep. But that Lonzo news broke. I had that video out maybe within 10 minutes. That was the first video I ever had that popped off. No, I swear you just said, who do we get first? Did I miss it earlier convo? I think you might have, bro. Clappers and Portland Trailblazers play tomorrow. The Clappers? Shay, what the? You're doing this shit on purpose, Shay. The Clappers, bro? We don't need to know the porn category that you search for. This nigga said the Clappers. The Clappers? You got the clap? That's crazy. That's wild, bro. That's crazy. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up then. We're going to get ready to wrap it up. Because Shay's out here tripping, y'all. Shay out here tripping, and I'm going to go smoke. So I love you guys, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys are following us at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, but that is thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls, love you guys, see red, y'all. Peace. This nigga said
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.